50 Cent recently snapped at him when Jay Prince tried to kick him out of Houston. What's the catch? 50 isn't taking any prisoners this time. He wants to make public Jay Prince's alleged plot and all of its activities. Jay Prince supposedly felt pressured and sent his crew after 50 to disrupt his business. But he believed that 50 would respond with force. If he was honest, he would have challenged Jay Prince to come up, but he's already confronting him on Instagram. 50's alleged receipts could lead to the closure of Jay Prince's entire company. I assure you that he does not want this confrontation. However, it does not imply that Jay Prince doesn't have a lot of influence in Houston streets. He still has supporters, and 50 might need to watch out for him. A historic clash between two titans is in store. Okay, let's talk about it. For years, Jay Prince has been the target of 50 Cent, who considers himself the king of Houston. They have always been fierce rivals, almost deadly. I don't like Jay Prince's whole checking-in system, 50 said. From the protection of their respective cities, 50 and Jay Prince continued their minor feud, even if 50 was keeping it down in New York and Jay Prince had the streets of H-Town. There was little cause for them to quarrel until they actually met, which is rarely the case. But now everything was different. When 50 Cent decided to move to Houston in order to directly confront Jay Prince, the tweet that first revealed the decision to move all of 50's business to Houston read, "I love New York, but I live in Houston now. I will explain later." Part of the reason he moved to Houston was the cheaper taxes. The 62% tax hike in New York had earlier caused him to protest that it was having a negative effect on his business operations. You all know that business owners would rather stay away from Uncle Sam's sticky fingers. But that wasn't the only explanation. As you are aware, he has expressed his desire to get part in the Houston scene, which is one of the epicenters of hip-hop, rap, and trap culture in the country. 50 is a successful businessman who has a strong passion for people, the arts, entertainment, and culture. He believed that purchasing real estate in Houston would be the next important step in obtaining those substantial payments once the returns began to roll in. Furthermore, he has been accused of traveling to Houston for the 50's alcohol brand, Guinness and Branson. Several people have speculated that 50 was displaying the bottles at every liquor store in Houston. Although he believed he might have found a market for his business in Houston, Jay Prince didn't share his desire for easy communication. He was upset because 50 Cent was encroaching on his territory and felt deceived. Jay Prince reportedly sent his crew to put pressure on 50 Cent in an effort to get him to drop certain bans, but 50 wasn't going to allow that to happen until he checked in. As soon as possible, he told Jay Prince that he had his security and that he would not allow him to be coerced by Jay Prince into checking in. That just served to increase Jay Prince's annoyance though. He tried to enforce a no-fly zone on 50, but it didn't work because, based on speculation on the curb, 50 made it clear that he didn't play those kinds of games. You'll also see that 50 wasn't hiding to keep Jay Prince happy. He was out and about, doing his thing. Company, as well as creating opportunities for his community. It was 50 Cent's intention to open a new film studio in Houston for his firm, Unit Film. The estimated cost of the project was $20 million. That project was halted by 50, who decided to move the entire company to Shreveport, Louisiana. Approximately a year after 50 moved to Houston in 2022, the mayor honored him with a 50 Cent Day celebration and gave him a key to the city. On Thanksgiving Day, during the yearly procession, the incident occurred. Speaking highly of 50 Cent, Mayor Sylvester Turner called him one of the most powerful people in the city. According to him, 50 is a businessman, entrepreneur, and philanthropist rapper who has made several contributions. In this city, there are several causes, especially the Unity program in the high schools, which turns students into entrepreneurs. And when he declared November 24th to be 50 Cent's Day, the mayor told him he would always have a place in Houston. As they accepted 50 as one of them, the crowd's love was clear. 50 returned the favor in his prize speech as well. While everyone else was celebrating, Jay Prince was somewhere clenching his teeth and banging on the wall because 50 was becoming the most powerful person in his city. The facts are accurate, in actuality. While 50 would receive the keys to the city, Jay Prince would naturally be cast aside and treated like a criminal. Since coming to Houston, 50 Cent has used his fortune to revitalize his community and finance numerous humanitarian projects through his G-Unit Foundation. As an example, he founded the company Unity in order to help high school students in the Houston International School District develop their entrepreneurial skills. Lab is an educational intervention program. He has also been active in Houston's sports and nightlife scenes. The Texans, Houston Rockets, and Astros have all partnered with his Sire Spirits business. Furthermore, in 2022, he hosted the inaugural Houston Tycoon Comedy and Music Festival. That year, he worked with the Rockets to give 1,000 free turkeys to local residents. Family during Thanksgiving. It goes beyond that, though. During a 2023 holiday party, he donated $850,000 worth of gifts to the citywide club, helping them to meet their goal of giving 100,000 toys to city children. He raised $500,000 for Houston Children's Charities in 2024 and sold 2 huge bottles of his La Mandadura champagne at auction. In the end, the charities gala raised a new record of $3 million. After all, the city loves 50 for his undeniable impact. But what about Jay Prince and his band Mob Ties, dude? What better way to start than by creating possibilities for the city? As King of Houston, Jay Prince decided to use his position of security to intimidate artists who wanted to work there, defending himself against robberies of artists visiting the city. The notion seems great. And it is, until you find out it's all a front for a sophisticated extortion plot. Checking in, a custom that Jay Prince and his staff have, requires visiting musicians to pay Jay Prince a visit as a sign of respect. But it's not just to say hello. It's usually to deposit a lot of cash. which Jay Prince says is for their protection so they don't get jumped and can get their chains or jewels back if they're taken. But as the fine print makes clear, these artists pretty much have no control over whether or not to pay. They will be jumped and lose their security detail if they refuse to pay because they think they have it. Jay Prince and his crew will set them up. Young boy's unwillingness to check in when he got to Houston cost him dearly. While YB was away in Houston on business, two criminals got into his home and stole some of his chains and keys to some of his luxury cars. The robbers wanted a $30,000 ransom to return his possessions. In response to their deception, YB responded by accusing them of being foolish kids. Then all of a sudden, Jay Prince enters the argument. In an Instagram video, he named YB and said the criminals had brought him the stolen items. He advised YB to contact him in order to request the restitution of his possessions. But YB saw right through the hoax and told Jay Prince to conceal his fake goodwill in a hidden place. When Jay Prince brought up the issue on social media, YB initially chastised him. Imagine a 60-year-old man who still plays internet games. Instead of sharing a boring video to tell everyone about their business, YB claims that if Jay Prince had any ambitions, he would have gotten in touch with him directly. As far as YB was concerned, it was blatant extortion. Knowing that he would have to pay a significant amount more than the robbers had first wanted if he went to Jay Prince, he refused to give in. Although Jay Prince was chastised by Cameron and Mace in a podcast, YB is not the only person who has scolded him for this checking-in habit. At his late age, Jay Prince should be retired and teaching the next generation how to make things better, but instead, they mock him for playing these useless games. Let's not even discuss the games with loaded dice. J. Prince and his boys set up rappers when they got to Houston. They also allegedly used similar dice games in J. Prince's extortion scheme. You have probably heard the claims that J. Prince was involved in Takeoff's death, since Takeoff passed away during one of those dice games that are notorious. According to official reports, after a fight started, people began shooting. Unfortunately, Takeoff was accidentally hit by one of the bullets, and he did not survive. But take a look at this new video. Though it doesn't help that Takeoff isn't the only person who died after playing one of those dangerous dice games. People are still talking about it. Duke the jeweler, remember? He was not aware that it was a setup, but when he won $100,000 in a dice game, he thought he had struck gold. He lost all he owned when he was attacked before he could get to his car. J. Prince and 50 Cent are the only options because, regrettably, they didn't even let him live. To find the reasons why 50 and Prince will never be on the same level, and who has made the greatest contributions to Houston, it gets complicated at this point. There are claims that J. Prince has been preparing to close his Houston firm and eliminate 50. J. Prince and Big Meech clashed before he could carry out his plans. J. Prince continuously sided with Big Meech, and he reportedly sent some of his crew after 50 to beg him to back off. You know though that 50 is not the type of man who would tolerate being beaten by another man. He chose the difficult course of action of exposing J. Prince and his extortion network rather than giving up. According to rumors, 50 is attempting to end J. Prince's control over Houston. I'm sure he'll have a good time doing it, but I have a question for you. Do you think 50 should exercise caution while he's in Houston, or do you think he's planning another move to outdo him? Following the information provided by J. Prince in the comments section, you ought to take a look at this.